Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to GoCSU Rams on Zennie62. Um, well, good morning or good evening, everyone, and welcome to Zennie62. This is GoCSU Ram. I accidentally did something. Sorry about that. Um, but welcome to Zennie62 live vlog, daily vlogs tonight. Welcome. And let me get to the chat and we will start. So everything's good, and let me get over to Livestream and we will start talking. So I want to talk about something I don't know that might interest you, it might not. What is it like to be in a division rivals city, and we may potentially have a 51st state? So, I want to welcome everyone in, and so welcome everyone to the stream. I want to welcome everyone. Tonight I want to look at, what is it like, and I want to include y'all too. What is it like being a Raider fan where you live? What is it like where you live? What is it like being a Raiders fan where you live? Now, I live here in what's known the heart of Bronco country. I want to include everyone in, so I'd love to talk and everything, and y'all come on in. But what is it like to be a Raiders fan where you live? Now, I live in Denver, the heart and soul of the Denver Broncos. Now, granted, they didn't do very well, but it is tough to be a Raiders fan where in Bronco country. It's really tough, and so I want to get everyone in. Those three who are watching, I'd love for y'all to comment and chat with me. I'd love to chat with you. I want to know, what is it like to be a Raiders fan where you are? What is it like? For me, it's a rival. It's a rivalry. And you think of the Broncos and Raiders, and they're two great teams. You get the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Chiefs, who are all great teams. What is it like, to live where you are? You may live in Seattle, where the Seahawks are. You may live where the Chargers are, and down in LA, and the Rams. You may live in San Francisco, where the 49ers live or are. You may live in Kansas City, where the Chiefs play. Or you might even live here in Denver, where the Denver Broncos are home and play. So I want to get your input. The Raiders are such a good organization, built by none other than Mark Davis, or Al Davis. Hey, you the man, Rick Rice. You the man. You the man. Welcome, Rick Rice, to the stream. Tonight we're going to look at what where you live. What is the atmosphere like being a Raiders fan where you live? Now, granted, most of you live in Oakland, but like me, I live in Denver, heart and soul of the Denver Broncos. You may live in Kansas City where the Chiefs are, heart and soul of the Chiefs. You also may live in Chargers country. Bite my nails on that one. But, I'd like to know, what is it like being a Raiders fan where you live? For me, being a Raiders fan here in Denver, it's really hard because you don't have Raider Nation. Yes, granted, Raider Nation is everywhere. But Raider Nation, there's not a lot of Raider fans. There are some, but there's not a lot like Oakland. Oakland's is Raider country, is the heart and soul of the Raiders. The black hole, as we call it. Bronco country is solely Broncos. Now, yeah, we got a Patriots fan, we got a Raiders fan, we got Steelers fans, but it's all Broncos country. And for me to live here, for a Raiders fan, like myself, to live here in Denver, it's hard. Because you don't have the friends who are Raiders fans. You don't have the friends. Now, like, that's why I come on here. That's why I'm on Zennie so much. Is because I get the Raiders connection. Joe Lopez says, the Raiders are a historic organization that is about to leave their original home for a second time. No loyalty toward its home fan base. We don't know they're leaving yet, Joe Lopez. They're not leaving yet. We don't know if they're leaving yet. So stay on for, I'm going to go about 10 o'clock, and then hopefully Zennie will be starting his stream. So I'll go on for half an hour. But, it is so interesting, being a Raiders fan here in Bronco Country, I have nobody to talk to. I don't drink. I don't go to the bar. I don't smoke. And granted, I'm 17 anyway. But, I don't do those things. So I don't have that connection that y'all do if you live in Oakland. Daniel Wright says, Raider fan here in Oakland. Hey, awesome. Broncos country, they've got a great fan base here in Denver. I mean, come out here, but I support the Raiders first. Raiders come first in my books. Raiders fans are all over the country, but I'd like to know, what do y'all think? What is it like? How do people treat you where you live? For being a Raiders fan, how do people treat you? Bronco country doesn't really talk to me. Granted, yes, my family does, because yes, they are Broncos fans. But most of Broncos country doesn't talk to us. I've got one friend who talks to me, but they're all church friends. But, Broncos country, Raiders, I don't have the Raiders connections like y'all do. I don't have that. And not a lot of people don't have that Raider connection where they live. Like, I don't have that Raider connection because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things. So I don't know how Daniel, okay, I don't yeah. Daniel says, I even turned my wife into a fan as well. Our dog is named Raider, lol. That's pretty cool, Daniel. I like that. Calling your dog Raider and, getting your wife in to be a Raider fan. You know, you don't, not a lot of us, where we are, Denver, Oakland, we don't really have that fan base. Denver. Yes, they still have a Raiders fan base, but it's not as big. It's very small. Rick Rice says Vegas is a joke. I agree. Vegas is. I'm not, and Joe, don't take this. I'm not saying the Raiders are leaving. I'm not saying they're staying. But, if this is an if the Raiders do go to Vegas, Oakland has lost its heart and soul of the city. Really, of the Bay Area. Well, no. More the city, the heart and soul of that city. I really feel bad for Oakland. I really do. I feel for y'all. Because I could never, would never think that the Raiders would go back to Vegas. 2 years ago, the LA vote was going to happen for the Raiders and Chargers and Rams. Now, this was before I got on to Zennie62, and I was explained a little bit more, what is going on, or, what is going on with these moves. I wanted the Raiders to go to, Los Angeles. Raiders are they're a good team, but I cannot think of the Broncos leaving. But the Raiders are heart and soul of Oakland. I really feel bad for those who do, for everyone who is a Raiders fan and breathes Raiders, and is a part of what y'all call up there in Oakland the black hole, what we call the black hole. We are Raider Nation, but we are getting torn apart because of this move to Vegas. Oakland doesn't support it, and if I were I don't know if you saw a stream a few months ago. Zennie did it, or quite a few months ago, where he went to this meeting where all of these fans from these different fan bases flew out and said, we support the Raiders staying in Oakland. Do y'all remember that? Let me know. Daniel says we only have a small base in Oregon, but I don't go to bars. Right. We Raiders are heart and soul of Oakland. And I just think it's going to be really heartbreaking. Now, granted, I might still go to games in Oakland or in Vegas. I'm not saying I'm a Vegas Raiders fan. I'm saying I'm a Raiders fan. Yes, the Raiders could move, but I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they will. But I think Raider Nation, if the Raiders do go to Vegas, I will still support the Raiders. They are my team. The barber says every nation has a capital, and Oakland is the capital of the Raider Nation. I agree, the barber. I agree wholeheartedly. Like Denver. Denver is the capital of Bronco country. Oakland is the capital of Raider Nation. You have San Francisco, where, what are they called there? 49er Nation? I don't know. Where you have 49er Nation. Then you have Rams Nation and Chargers Nation down in LA. You know, you got all of these cities, um, with a different team, and I think the Raiders are unique because we are dangerous fans, and it's the truth. You know, we are the best fans in the NFL. Now, yes, we might be able to say we are that. Every team is that. But I think the Raider Nation is the best fan base in the NFL. Yes, you have the Broncos, but Raider Nation is the best. You know, they are a great team. And I stuck through it in 15, 16, 17. You know, these are great. This is a good franchise. Now that we have John Gruden back, let's help this team stay. You know, I might be able to do a little bit, but, you know, tell the Raiders, stay in Oakland. Tell them, please stay in Oakland. Because Oakland, where would it be without the Raiders? Where will Oakland be without the Raiders? Pedro says, I was at the last Battle of the Bay after the game. It felt like a riot. That's what I mean. Pedro brings up a great point. Battle of the Bay. If the Raiders move to Vegas, you won't have that Battle of the Bay. 49ers, Raiders. David Gaynor, please come on to what I'm talking about, please. I'd appreciate it. You know, Raider Nation is solely in Oakland. Rick Rice says, if the Raiders move to Vegas, I'm done with the NFL. I'm streaming all games illegally and buy all fake Chinese knockoff gear. Oh, goodness. Rick Rice. That's funny. That's funny. What are you doing why are you streaming games illegally, huh? Why are you doing that? Oh, well. That's alright. That's fine. Well, you know, we're playing here, so. You know, Raider Nation is amazing. We would not be, Raider Nation would not be where it's at today in Oakland if the Raiders weren't in Oakland. Raider Nation would not exist at all if the Raiders were not in Oakland. Oakland's destined to keep the Raiders, and I hope and pray that if the Raiders do move to Vegas, that they will go back to Oakland, you know, within 10 years. I will hope. Hey, Steve Macy, how you doing? I will hope that the Raiders will get to their senses after 10 years being in Vegas, and Mark Davis or the new owner will say, this was a bad idea, let's move back to Oakland. And I hope that if the Raiders do want to move back to Oakland, that Raiders fans will accept them. Please, you know, I hope that Oakland Raiders or the black hole will accept the Raiders back if they do go to Vegas and they want to come back. Pedro says, I think the Las Vegas lease is 50 years. Oh, I hope not. Oh, goodness, I hope not. The Raiders are a great team, and, one person, they wouldn't have the Battle of the Bay. Battle of the Bay is just an awesome game to watch. Siton said they can't go back after sign non-relocation agreement. Hennessy said Mark will not be the owner in the next 2 to 3 years. I definitely agree on that. I 100% agree. Steve Macy said if they move, they won't come back. Mark Davis wants nothing to do with Oakland. And he said hello, Rick. Siton also said they're stuck there for 30 years. Is it buffering for you guys a little bit? Please let me know when it's buffering on your end. I'd like to know. I don't want to keep asking y'all if it's buffering or not. So please let me know. I would appreciate it. The Raiders are just a great organization. Great. And, you look at the 49ers. You look at the Raiders. Those teams really do fit the Bay Area. Okay, thank you, Rick. Raiders really do fit the Bay Area. So do the 49ers. I want to say to those Oakland fans, think of it this way. Where would you be today if it weren't for the AFC being created and the Raiders being there in Oakland? Where would y'all be today? I would not definitely be here. I would not be here. I would be a Broncos fan. Daniel said, I went to a Raider game about 5 years ago, 10 days after ankle surgery, and the tailgaters were so awesome, moving stuff out of the way for me, wheelchair to pass. I knew they were my people. Right. Raiders fans care about each other. Raiders are just an awesome team. I don't know where I would be without the Raiders. I don't know where anybody who is a Raiders fan would be without the Oakland Raiders. So I'll leave you with that. But I also want to talk about something else. You Californians who are watching, we got 9 watching. Have you heard the latest news today? Have you heard the latest news today about California? Let me know. I'm gonna stop talking just for a minute. And I'd like to know in the comments, have y'all heard of California? Have you heard any news that there are today about California? Comments. Okay. You see this last thing I say in my what's it called? Right, Steve. Steve Macy said they want to split it up. Right. I want to talk about it tonight. It's something that is the news of the day, kind of. 50 state. Now, there was news today that new California would be the name of the state. Now, you know where y'all would be divided? For those Californians out there watching, Do y'all know where you would be divided? You would be divided not north and south, but the whole from okay, let me get it. Los, yeah, or no, California, state, counties. Okay, images. Okay, so here it is right here. Okay, here's the counties. Okay, so there are the Raiders, the state of California wants to split up. Now, the state of California consists of a lot of, well, a lot of people. And I'll explain to you how it's going to be divided here in a minute. Okay, so I have found out that this is about 10 hours ago that New California declares independence from the rest of the state. Now, you're wondering, New California, what are the boundaries? Okay, the coast, from Los Angeles all the way up to the Bay Area, would all be California, and then guess what? The rest of the state, New California. So, something to give to give y'all a thought.
Thursdays, Life in Peace.
The California is a great state. Don't get me wrong. Great state. And I don't want them to split up. I really don't. They're a great team. Or they're a great state. I don't see California splitting up at all. I don't see it. Do y'all see it? But if they did, it would be all the rural counties. That would be. Steve Macy said it's not going to happen. Well, you don't know. You don't know that. It could happen. They're going by the books, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They don't want us to secede from the U.S. They want to stay with the U.S., but be not a part of California, but a 51st state. So I don't know. That gives y'all an idea. So Pedro said, I've heard of being split up 6 ways: coast, valley, mountains, north and south. That won't work. I know it's the coast from Los Angeles all the way up to Bay Area. And then the rest of California is New California. That's what they're talking about. Me personally, David Ward says, put all the Democrats on one side and Republicans on the other. See who goes bankrupt first. Oh, I shouldn't have repeated that one out loud. I'm gonna keep that laugh. I'm not gonna laugh. But that is kind of funny. That is really funny. That is really funny. It's really funny. But nonetheless, California, will see what happens, but I do not think it will become a 51st state. Comment down below for those who watch after this live stream goes up. Let me know, what do you think of the 51st state? But also, I'm gonna actually stop. I've been going for 31 minutes now. It's 9:55. I'm gonna stop so I can tell Zennie that I'm done with my stream, and he might have a stream tonight, but we'll see. I don't know yet. I'm not sure, but thank y'all for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. For the 10 watching, thank you. I just want to put them out there. Me personally, I hope California does not split up. So, that's my last words. I'm going to say bye, everyone, and I will see you on Zennie62, his live stream. Pedro said, do you have any cool Raider stories? Okay, I won't stop yet. You want to know how I became a Raider fan? It's actually kind of interesting. Would you all like to hear how I became a Raider fan? It's actually really interesting how I became a Raider fan. Some of you have heard it before, but some of you haven't. So, let me know. I'd like to, I'll tell y'all if y'all want to know. I mean, I've got the story of how I became a Raider fan, but I don't know if y'all want to hear that one. I don't know. I'll tell it to y'all. 2014. Pedro says yes. Okay. 2014. Raiders' worst season ever. Okay. And the Broncos had just come off a Super Bowl, going to Super Bowl and getting beat by the Seattle Seahawks. John Fox's last or I didn't know if John Fox was going to get fired or not by the Broncos. And I really liked the head coach, or the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, Jack Del Rio. And Jack Del Rio, I thought was a great defensive coordinator. I liked him. He was in Jacksonville, but I wasn't an NFL fan then. Well, then I saw how the Raiders weren't doing very well and how they were terrible. They went, 3-14 or something? Or 3-13? Then you go back, you go to the, Steve, you gotta let me finish here, okay? I loved Jack Del Rio, okay? And I told myself if Jack Del Rio were to move to another team, I would stay with that team. Wherever he goes, I will stay with that team for the rest of my life. Or, until I don't pay attention to football anymore. And so, end of the 2014-2015 season, the Raiders fired their head coach. The Broncos part ways with John Fox. Jack Del Rio gets let go. I did not expect him to go to the Raiders. Well, Jack Del Rio goes to the Raiders. I followed him to the Raiders. Now, I was David, Owen said, "What if Del Rio becomes a head coach somewhere else next season?" Well, that's what I mean. At the end of that 2015 or 2014-15 season, if Jack Del Rio was released and he went, like he came to the Raiders, I would stay with that team for the rest of my life. I came on to the Raiders I did not know anything about the Raiders. I have to put that out there. I did not know how, about the Raiders. And I came on and I said, I love Jack Del Rio. He was a good head coach in Jacksonville. He got in the playoffs. He helped Denver get the playoffs. Maybe he'll get the Raiders. I don't know. But I followed Jack Del Rio and I gave him a chance. But now you come to this season, he gets fired. I am staying a Raiders fan. I am not leaving to go somewhere else. The Raiders are a good team, and I don't see it any other way but to stay a Raiders fan. I thank Jack Del Rio for coming to the Raiders. Hey Bernard 543, how you doing? How you doing, Bernard? We are I am just Duncan, come on, yo. Okay. I'm a Raider fan now. I'm staying a Raiders fan for the rest of my um uh for the rest of my life. Okay, I'm staying a Raider fan for the rest of my life. You can count on it. Cross my heart. You can count on me being a Raider fan for the rest of my life. Okay? Yes, I was a bandwagon. Came to the Raiders, but that was just strictly because of Jack Del Rio then. But now it's not. I really like John Gruden, and hey, we'll see what he does for the Raiders. But I have gotten accustomed to the Raiders. I've been a Raiders fan for 3 years now. It's going well. Bernard Pfeiffer or Orlando Westbrook says, "GoCSU, a bandwagoner story, lol." Ha 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 ha. That's funny. Bernard 543 says, "Welcome to the dark side forever." I'll take that as a compliment. C. Macy said, "LOL, looks like the bandwagon went through Denver, LOL." Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did. But, I was raised in Denver, and I'm a Raider fan for life. I'll even put this down here. This is not Zennie saying it. This is me. Okay. Raider fan for life. Okay. Raider fan for life. So, that's my story. I'm sure I'll have others in the future. But I thank y'all for watching tonight. That is my story. I'm gonna let y'all go so I can let Zenny know I'm done with my stream so that he can do his. I will see y'all in there. So I will talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for supporting me. For supporting me and watching my streams. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And please keep watching my streams. I really do appreciate it. So we'll talk to y'all later, and hopefully I will see y'all on Zenny's stream. Zenny's stream, not mine. Zenny's. So I will see y'all later. Bye. See you on Zenny's. Talk to you later. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's doing one. But we'll see. I'll let him know that I'm done. Talk to you later. Bye.